Hi everybody, it's Rebecca Virginia, and today I'll be sharing some more Christmas DIYs with you. Today's video is part of a giveaway, so make sure you stay tuned for the whole video to find out more information on how to enter. The first DIY in today's video is a buffalo check reindeer light up bottle. Here are all of the supplies you'll need to make this project on your own. So the first step for this DIY is we're going to take a bottle. This is actually a vinegar bottle, but I think a wine bottle or really anything that comes in a bottle is going to work too. And then I took some Waverly white chalk paint and I ended up doing 2 coats to really make this good and opaque. We're going to be covering a lot of the bottom in paper, but you really want to make sure that you cover the top well in the white paint. So while the paint on the bottle is drying, I wanted to take time to quickly tell you all about this company, Rose Forever in New York. They were very kind to send to me these ivory colored roses from their Dome collection. It's an assortment of 35 roses, and these are preserved roses that last for a year. It's so cool. They look, feel, and even smell like roses, but they are going to last you an entire year. I have a coupon code for all of you to use. I figured with the Christmas season upon us, maybe this would make a good gift for someone in your life. I will leave all the info down in the description box. Alright, so now that our white paint on the bottle is dried, I'm going to be using this Crafter's Square vinyl paper. This is just a hint that even if you don't have a Cricut or a different cutting machine, you should still pick up the Dollar Tree vinyl paper because you can use it like I am without a cutting machine. I cut about an inch strip and then I am just placing it all around the bottom part of our jar, and this is the vinyl black glitter paper. And for the holidays, the Dollar Tree came out with black and white buffalo check and red and black buffalo check vinyl paper. So I am cutting, I believe it was 2 inches, and then I changed my mind because I thought it was too thick. So I ended up cutting it down to about an inch, basically just the 2 sections of squares, so I cut off the other 2 sections. And now that I have my paper, and it is actually going to be 3 sections, I know I just said 2, but now that I'm looking at it, I actually used 3. So 3 sections of that buffalo check and applying it just like I did before, basically as a sticker and just sticking it onto my bottle. And I'm going to be using that exact same buffalo check red and black vinyl paper, but this time on the upper part of my bottle, and here is where I just went with the 2. I knew it was somewhere. So up at the top, I'm just going to have 2 sections of that buffalo check, and I wrapped it around the top neck area of the bottle. The main focus of this bottle is going to be a deer silhouette. I cut this out using my Cricut, but you could use a sticker, a stencil, or just print something off online and then glue it down to the center of your bottle. And up at the top, to add some greenery and embellishments, I made a little pick out of a pine cone, berries, and some garlands. And then I also took a little bit extra berries and stuck that in there too. So you could be done with the DIY at this point, but I have these bottle lights. I got them off Amazon, and when I got them, they came out to about $1.25 a piece. I believe you got 10 or 11 in a set, but sometimes the price goes up. So if the price is too much, then don't buy them on Amazon. Wait till the price goes down. I'll link them below so you can check them out. And all that I'm doing is stringing the lights down into the bottle and then placing the cork, of course, in the top section of the bottle, where you will then just pull the tab, turn it on, and your reindeer bottle will start to glow. Our next DIY is an adorable Christmas sled that you can display on your mantle like me, or hang it like an ornament in your tree. Here's what you need to recreate it. The Dollar Tree really upped their game this year with the wood ornaments. I saw this wooden sled and absolutely loved it and knew that I had to pick it up. So usually when I'm using a stain, this is the Waverly Antique Stain, I will take a wet paper towel, but I was out of paper towels, so I just wet this sponge brush from the Crafter Square section and put the stain on there and then rubbed it into our wood sled. I knew that I wanted my sled to say Merry Christmas, so I did cut this out using some vinyl and my cutting machine. But if you don't have either, you can just use a marker, some paint, or even some of the holiday stickers that the Dollar Tree currently has out. I'm going to be making a bow for this DIY, and I pretty much keep my bows simple and the same. As you could see, I just twisted them in the beginning, then pinched it down, and that creates the bow part, and you have, of course, the tails hanging down. And then to hold it in place, for larger ones, we'll use a zip tie, but for smaller ones like this, I just take a piece of jute and tie it. And then after I shape my bow, I go back in with a smaller piece of that same color or patterned ribbon. And I was lucky on this one because it was a wired ribbon, so I just wrapped it around and then just started twisting the wires together. But if your ribbon is not wired, you can secure it in the back with a little bit of hot glue. Now I'm going to bring in some woodland embellishments. So first I started off with some Dollar Tree garland picks that I added some snow to by using white paint. Then I have these snowy glittery branches that came in a Dollar Tree pick too. So I am just hot gluing one to each side. And then I hot glued the ribbon down in the center and just continued to kind of mess with it, fluff up the bows, and make sure I liked where the tails were. And I wanted to bring in a bit of the red from the Merry Christmas decal, so I also added in some of these red berries that I, of course, got from a Dollar Tree pick, and I did add a little bit of white paint onto the berries to mimic some snow. Hi again, everyone. Today's video is extra special because it's the Santa's Little Reindeer Hop. So now what you probably all want to know is how to enter the giveaway. So viewers have to hop along and watch each creator's video. Then at the end of the video, leave a comment in the comment section and email the secret name along with the channel it's associated to the email that I will list in the description box below. My secret word is Blitzen. The giveaway closes Friday, December 10th at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the winner will be picked randomly by the YouTube comment picker, and then we will put in all of our community tabs and on our Instagrams who the winner is. And of course, the winner is going to be receiving an awesome gift. It is $110 US that will be sent to you via PayPal. Have fun and good luck! Our next DIY is a quick and easy one, turning a Dollar Tree wood piece into a Christmas ornament. Here's what you need. I saw this really cute Scottie Dog wood piece at the Dollar Tree, and I took some plaid scrapbooking paper, cut it out after tracing the wood Scottie Dog on it, and then used a glue stick to place it onto our dog. There was a sticky section on the back of the ornament from where I took off the tag, so I actually didn't even have to add any extra adhesive. I just took a red ribbon and put that on the back of our ornament. Then I grabbed a small piece of this garland from the Dollar Tree, as well as two little jingle bells from the Jingle Bell garland the Dollar Tree carries. And I had those hanging off the garland near the Scottie's neck, kind of like two little dog tags for our Scottie Dog. Lastly, I'm going to be making a very small bow to also go on the garland, and I'm going to be making a fork bow. I will link above. I made a video with extremely detailed instructions on how to make the fork bow, so if you don't already know how to do it, I know I show it a little bit in this video, but I go into a lot of detail in one of my earlier videos with exactly how to make this. So again, I will link that above, so be sure to check that out if you don't know how to create a bow using a fork. And once that was all done, I grabbed my hot glue and just placed this on the side of our garland, and then I grabbed some scissors and shortened the lengths of our bow. The next DIY is my take on Santa's toy sack. Instead of filling this with toys, I instead used a Dollar Tree bag and a bunch of florals, and the best part is it lights up at night. Here's what you need to make this. This is a DIY that looks more complex than it actually is. I took a merry and bright bag from the Dollar Tree, and using my scissors, I cut a small hole in the bottom right of our bag, and then I took the lights and I put these in the bottom of the bag, really in no order. I just placed them down in the center of the bag, and where the lights are going to plug in, the outlet section is what I threaded through the hole that I had. Then I grabbed a bunch of these, I called them marbles, but they're like rocks that are found in the floral section of the Dollar Tree. And I placed these down in the bottom of the merry and bright bag. I want this to be able to stand on its own, so that's why I'm placing this down there. And I will come back and fix that hole in the bag, but for now I'm just clamping it in place. And you want to shake the bag a little bit just to make sure the rocks are all at the bottom so that your bag will be able to stand on its own. And then I'm taking a bunch of this stuffing and filling up my bag. Next, I'm going to be taking these embellishments and floral picks and adding them to our bag. The first is a plastic candy cane that I got at the Dollar Tree, which I covered in jute and some of that Jingle Bell garland. And then I'll be adding these picks into the bag. The first one I'm keeping as is. I thought it was really pretty with that large peppermint. And then I added in 2 of the holly sections. And I really just placed that down into the stuffing part of the bag and just kind of played around with it and pulled the strings a little bit so that it wouldn't move around too much. And then I added the candy cane in the front section, just coming out of the bag a little bit. And then I just kind of played around with how tight or open I wanted the bag to be and made sure that it was able to stand on its own before moving back to that small hole that was created in the bag so that I could thread through the lights. And I just added a little bit of hot glue and then just squeezed that small section of the bag shut. I really love how this ended up turning out. It just reminds me of something that you're going to find at Home Goods or Hobby Lobby for a lot more than something you could make using some supplies from the Dollar Tree. This next DIY is a nightlight that also doubles as Santa's connection into your home. Here are all of the supplies you need to make this. This DIY is very simple and straightforward. I grabbed one of the nightlights from the Dollar Tree, and then I found the Santa cam design on Cricut Design Space, and I used actually some Dollar Tree vinyl to place this onto the nightlight. But you don't need a Cricut. You could print something out, you could use markers, you can use paint and stickers. There are lots of other ways that you can make this that don't involve using a cutting machine. But I really like the Dollar Tree vinyl. It works well as long as you're not doing really small, intricate cuts or pieces. So if you do have a cutting machine, I would definitely recommend picking up the Dollar Tree vinyl. I have found that it works pretty good for larger projects. This next DIY is a really easy one and kid-friendly. I think it would be a lot of fun to make with the kids. Here are all of the supplies you need to recreate it. So this DIY is a clothespin tree. I am taking these kind of old school traditional wood clothespins. I actually found them on Amazon. I will leave the link below if you wanted to pick them up there as well. And I'm just taking a dark green color and painting them all green, and then use a bit of this brown stain for the star. But if you have kids, they can make it any color they want. They don't have to do the traditional green for a Christmas tree. They can make a pink one, a purple one, really anything. You also don't need hot glue like I'm using to hold them together. You could do traditional Elmer's glue, especially if you're doing this with kids. And then I also just used a bit of glue to attach the star. And I took a cork and cut it a little bit shorter to make the stem of our tree, but you could always do a tumbling tower block or a wood bead. It doesn't need to be a cork, especially if you're doing it with kids, but if you're making it for maybe a wine lover, I think it is a cute personal touch. And I also added a little white bow to the top of our star and some white paint to make it look like our Christmas tree was snowy. You could always just have this as decor, but I thought it made a very cute ornament. So I attached some jute to the back. I just made a knot to make a loop with the jute and then adhered it with some hot glue, and our Christmas tree clothespin ornament was complete. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, keep searching, keep creating.